Bakersfield's country station, 103.9 The Moose, live online at K105.com via the Apple and Android smartphone app, using the SoundCloud, iTunes, or Spotify podcast, on Facebook, on YouTube, on the platform formerly known as Twitter. And the hashtag is In The Know. Coming up today, we'll update you on the latest news headlines from around the community, the county, the Commonwealth, and the country. Get you set to meet the Cougars, plus a busy weekend in sports. That and a whole lot more coming up today. Here on In The Know. Settling into my left, rolling Mach 9 with her hair on fire. Here's my beautiful wife, the beautiful girl. Good morning, sweetheart.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm good. I can tell we both still have the nose thing going on, though.
Yeah. Mine alternates side to side every day, and so I'll Flonase one side one day, and then it's moved over to the other side the next day.
I've always said I don't have allergies, but I'm actually considering maybe trying something in like Zyrtec at night with you. So
something to treat your non-allergies.
I think so.
Because clearly it's not allergies.
It's not
it can't
allergies,
be that.
right.
So when you don't have allergies, what's the best treatment? Allergy medicine.
Yeah,
I think I'm right there with you on that. I think it's an excellent idea. He's the 5-time winner of the coveted Ohio Newshawk Award. He's the 2-time Silver Sound nominee, covering every corner of the globe: London, Budapest, Rio, Tokyo, and even Snap. He's Sam Gormley. And the sports. Morning, Sam.
Morning, Ralph.
How you doing?
We're here, aren't we?
We are here. For those of you that missed me yesterday, you're welcome. I'm back. For those of you who didn't miss me yesterday, I'm sorry.
It was great having Barry on.
Yeah,
he did a really good job.
Yeah, we had fun with Barry.
I wasn't so sure that maybe I wasn't being replaced permanently. So.
He tried to make the moves, and you know.
He was eyeballing your board over there. No.
Yes.
He might be able to negotiate a better deal than I have.
Because it was, we had to go through the chair situation too in here, without.
Yeah.
He's not used to sitting in this chair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is a bit of an adjustment. Yesterday I had my even though through the end of the month. Oh, that's sweet of you, Dennis. One of the rare nice things Dennis says to me. That's not true. He said something to me privately that was nice earlier this week, so I should be truthful.
Now you owe him $5.
Oh no, I don't owe him any money. Let's not go that far. At the end of the month, my term will expire, but I yesterday had my final Kentucky Broadcasters Association Board of Directors meeting, at least for the foreseeable future. And so I quickly, it's an 8-year stretch for me. I counted, I was like, yeah, 8 years. And in our association, you're term limited to 9 before you have to at least take a break from the board. So it was, I was going to have to take a break eventually anyway. But it just kind of cycled through. It's been
longer than Alea's been alive.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's I realized yesterday it was 32 regular board meetings. And then we probably had a few special board meetings thrown in there for good measure. 36 executive committee meetings. There were probably 24 member services director committee meetings in there. So I got to thinking about suddenly I'm going to have a lot more free time. I doubt that. It's not hugely time consuming. But anyway, it's rewarding, and appreciate everybody around here who's stepped into the gap when I was missing so that I could serve the industry. But hopefully everybody here got some benefit too, because the things that the association are doing hopefully help us all. So
I thought you were saying the benefit is that you weren't on the show that day.
I think that was implied as well.
That is a byproduct of it. You can.
Well, I'm happy for you. I'm glad that when you said 8 years, my mind went, wow. But it has been 8 years.
Yeah,
and I'm glad you've done it. I've watched you enjoy it. You've done a great job, and I think you're going to miss it.
I will miss it. I'll be involved in some way.
I was going to say, I don't think you're going away.
And I've teased Chris Winkle a little bit. I'm like, hey, because I know how much he loves it. He smiles when he talks about it. So anyway.
Yeah. Chris said something very nice at our dinner Wednesday evening. He called me a guardrail for the association, and I thought, is that a good thing?
Well, you love a good guardrail analogy.
I do love a good guardrail.
Yes, you
analogy.
do. So
he said, he said. So anyway, there'll be something for me to do, and I know that I'm still needed on our lobbying trips, so they're not completely turning me out to pasture yet. So, but yet. Well, I will tell you, it's Friday. There's not a lot of news, so it's okay. But I do remember back in September when we had our annual conference in Covington. They did one of the games they were playing. It was if you've been in the industry 5 years or longer. Sam, you were in there, weren't you?
I was. I was sitting right next to you.
Yeah, that's right. And so next to or in front of, I don't remember exactly where you were, but it was obvious to me. Okay, if they started backing it down. If you've been in the industry longer than this, stay standing. If you've been and I realized I was probably in a group of 20. There were probably only maybe 19 people or 20 people more than me standing up.
17.
I'm at 30.
No, I meant you started at 17, right?
Yes, yeah.
It was weird for me too because this is one of the first times that it wasn't. If you've been in the industry, it's immediately
less than
sit
1
down.
year.
Yeah. It's like because I've passed over 5 years. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm the old man now, right?
Move to the next category. So
you're moving up. So how many years, honey?
36, I guess.
Wow.
You can run for president.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I did.
And won.
Yeah, and even got a bonus trip around
and you got that thing.
Yeah, I did get that. But I will say, you mentioned Chris Winkle, who's the president of the KBA. In addition to him, I have over the last 8 years, I have friendships that I was not going to have otherwise, and so that's probably my biggest takeaway from the whole thing, are just people that you can, kind of understand what it's
like-minded.
Mm-hmm, yeah,
it's nice to find others that you can be friends with and have commonalities.
Yeah, so it's grateful.
And our business
I'm
is a little
for the
bit
time.
different. You don't run into people every day in the broadcasting business.
That's
you just
true.
Don't.
we got a rare business where we have two sets of customers. And that's kind of an odd situation to be in. So not everybody.
I had a conversation about that this morning, actually.
You did?
Mm-hmm.
And yet those customers are the same people, yet not the same people.
They're the same people. They're not the same people. And it's interesting. Our two sets of customers want exactly the opposite things.
Yes, they do. And if you have any follow-up questions, you can email sales@k105.com and we'll be happy to help you out.
So speaking of sales, it sounds like Santa may have it a little easier this year. Like when the economy's bad and the inflation is high, it's bad for all of us except Santa. Because apparently Santa is going to have fewer and less expensive gifts this holiday season. So maybe Santa won't have to work quite as hard this year.
How many lists has Alea made to Santa?
Who knows?
0. I couldn't get her.
I don't really.
She
marked everything in a book, but then
I was going to say
lost
that
the
was
book and.
Last Sunday,
Can't really
that
come
was
up
one
with
of her
anything.
tasks, was to work on her list, and she never. You got home,
Yeah.
and I said, "Did you get your list work done?" She said, "No, I didn't start." So
Yeah, and
she can't even tell you what she wants.
It is Friday, and I'm sorry, but one thing that I read, so Santa is going to have less overhead and less cost. However, you talked about economic whatever. So I saw some very cool moms who had their children bag up some of their old toys, things they don't play with anymore, and put them under the tree on Christmas Eve. So when Santa comes, he can pick those up and they can be sorted at the North Pole and be repurposed for others.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And it kind of cuts down on the work time of the elves as well. So
yeah, not a bad
anyway, there's your mom tip for the day.
There's your mom life hack for today. You'll be better off because there'll be less clutter around your house.
It's a win-win.
Yeah. Rainy today. Well, yesterday was a beautiful morning. It was sunny and it was warm yesterday. Today, back toward where we would expect to be seasonally, kind of soggy, kind of cool, and definitely overcast today. See rounds of rain today. I think it'll move out of here 6 to 7. Our time is when the chances drop. You may go a few hours today without seeing. It's just going to look like rain. It may not rain for 2 or 3 hours at a time, but it may sprinkle here and there. Kind of a chilly weekend by comparison, highs in the 50s. And then we're going to see some active weather for next week. We'll see rain, 64 today, decreasing clouds, 36, and then tomorrow will be a high of 55. I think we're going to see some rain on Tuesday and perhaps Wednesday, so we're keeping an eye on that for the Salute to the American Farmer, which is coming up on Wednesday. So we've been blessed with wonderful weather for that over the years, but just trying to play that by ear on how we make adjustments. A few headlines to pass along today. The boil water advisory for the industrial area on Salt River Road earlier this week has been lifted, but simultaneously a boil water advisory was issued for the entirety of Fountain View Estates. So if you live in that section of Litchfield, you are under a boil water advisory. Thought I would mention that while we were talking about various things happening locally. One of the headlines, I know you all talked about this yesterday, but I saw the headline about the Healthcare Foundation donating of around 10 acres to Litchfield for a Sportsplex recreational facility across from the Litchfield Aquatic Center on East Carroll Gibson Boulevard. It was a little over a year ago I learned of the increased motivation in seeing this project come to life. Councilman Denny Fentress sat over there in your chair, by the way. We were having a conversation, not an on-the-air conversation. We were having a private conversation, and he was sharing with me that was one of the things that he was really wanting to be a champion for in his service on the Litchfield City Council. So
Smart move.
yes, absolutely. And it reminds me of an era, I guess it's been 20 years ago now, maybe even a little over 20 years ago. There was a big initiative to bring what was being called a healthplex. And it would have been similar to what this was. It wasn't an actual YMCA because that's a branded institution, but you kind of think of it as a Y, but it might not have similar programs that YMCA has. But it's an indoor facility, it's recreation, it could be tennis, it could be swimming, it could be fitness, it could be rehab, it could be
Pickleball.
Yeah, pickleball. It could be all those things that when the outside doesn't allow for that, the inside is about a 50,000 square foot facility. So it was just Terry Bunnell. You've been around a long time. You remember the name Terry Bunnell, and he's still in finance over in Glasgow. But he was kind of the engine behind this project back over 20 years ago, and had a big commitment of financing. But then just kind of talk to me off the air sometime, and I'll tell you exactly why the Healthplex didn't happen. Because I know exactly why it didn't. But there were a lot of local leaders who were vested and said, "We want this to happen."
Where was this going to be?
Similar in a general area to that, and so it was kind of when all that Kelly land that was rolled up, that was part of the Healthcare Foundation and Twin Lakes Regional, and that was all part of a grand plan that was given to the healthcare community, and now they're repurposing it. Owensboro Health had an option to buy it. They said, and you all probably covered this part, they said, we're giving up our right to buy it so that it can be used for city purposes. They'll benefit from it. We'll all benefit from it if it's there. It confirms what I've been trying to say for a while, is that corridor of our community has really turned into, and if this happens, has turned into a real showcase and showpiece for our area. From You spent considerable time yesterday talking about ECTC Litchfield. That was, and it's called the Kelly Campus, by the way. And so, or the Kelly Building, I think, is the building they operate in. Walter T. Kelly's name is associated with it. You've got Kelly, the Kelly Medical Center. You have this land that was given, from the Kelly Company, the proceeds of that. Anyway, my point is that for generations to come, and certainly in the coming decades, if you can imagine what our community would look like without the Aquatic Center, without the Veterans Park, without the new baseball and softball complex, without the ECTC campus, and now eventually this facility, it looks a lot different, and it looks a lot more stuck in the old days. So I am thrilled about the possibility of this facility, and I was excited about it when I heard about it originally. 20 something years ago. I was excited about it a year ago, and I'm excited today that it's one step closer to becoming a reality.
Well, like, you see during the summer, you have all the baseball tournaments that come and play at the ball fields. Now those tournaments are year-round. Once this thing gets built, because you can have basketball tournaments, you can have pickleball tournaments, you can do anything. I know that there are multiple of these kind of facilities up home, and that's where we play basketball in the winter.
These things,
Sports of all sorts.
the idea there's nothing for us to do, or we're not healthy enough, or those things don't change overnight. They happen over long periods of time by smart planning and smart investment and smart growth, and this is another. When you're looking to attract other people to the area, maybe to come and join our workforce and say our industries need you to come work, they say, well, why should I come live there? Hey, great health care. We got educational opportunities. We got health and fitness that we're dedicated to. It's beautiful. We have twin lakes. So it's just all part of the asset set to say why we're a community worth staying in and moving to. The Grayson County High School's Family, Career, and Community Leaders of American, FCCLA chapter, is sending 5 of its members to national competition. You'll see that photograph on your screen if you're watching. The FCCLA Life Smarts Knowledge Bowl team of McKenna Meredith, hope I'm saying that right, McKenna, Tara Wells, Sierra Clark, Gabe Sikora, and Laslyn Hatfield advanced to the top 16 in open pool play. They'll compete in the finals in the National Leadership Conference in Seattle, Washington in June of next year. So other people doing good things with that as well that you can read about at K105.com. You all might have touched on that yesterday, but also wanted to give them an
Good-looking group of kids.
an extra helping of attaboys and attagirls. There was a mistrial in the Brett Hankerson trial yesterday, so that's not an acquittal, but it is a mistrial, and they will apparently try that again at some point. The judge reported there were elevated voices coming from the jury room, and not long after they realized they were deadlocked and were not going to be able to move forward. So that situation just gets elongated even more. If you are one of those people who at the end of the year you wait to maybe register if you have you have maybe a December birthday and you re-register your car in December, or you might have a specialty plate. Did you all talk this yesterday?
But this is there has been more follow-up as well. And I know Judge Henderson talked a lot about it at the fiscal court meeting last night as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to cause, typically this time at the end of December, clerk's offices around the state carve out typically a couple of days for upgrades or some changes, because there's a little sweet spot in there where they can do that and be less disruptive. This year, there is going to be almost a week from December, possibly more than a week, December 29 to January 8.
So what they said last night at the fiscal court meeting is what they're going to do is it'll be like a week, and then on January, whatever it is, 8th, they're going to start a process of 30 counties per day, putting them on the line.
Okay.
And as they said last night, is they assume that they'll go, the first 30 will be Jefferson, Boone, Kenton, Campbell, Fayette. They'll go big.
Highest demand, yeah.
And then they'll go down from there. So the question is Grayson County January the 11th, or are they January the 17th?
The reason that I guess I was under the impression when they said they were going to slowly turn up the spigot on these, I read it from they were adding services, not by territory, but they were like, okay, now you can do this, and then maybe tomorrow we'll add this service and we'll add that. But he said, what was the governor said? Millions of records have to be migrated because they're moving from, it was Avis to Cavis. Is that right? The Avis system.
Something like that.
Well, anyway, it's supposedly even though it might be a little bit of a pain in the butt in the next, at the end of this year, it supposedly will make it much better for you on the other side.
One of the things that they added too with that is if you are in January, no late fees will be added on, so you don't have to.
And that's what I was saying yesterday. I mean, all of the changes sound great and will help and maybe expedite a lot of the things. But from my standpoint, like the people implementing and upgrading the software, I can't help but think of it from that perspective.
Happy holidays.
Yes, happy holidays to you all.
All you all are worried about is rolling this out. Kentucky plays tonight. They will host Stonehill. From Kansas to Stonehill. That's quite the swing in 1 week. But Kentucky also has had a pretty good week in the signing period for their next year's class with Travis Perry, and we're going to get another Boogie, an actual
Flan? Is that what it
Boogie
is?
Flan, Samto Cyril,
Yep.
and Jaden
Acquaintance. Yeah, because when I looked at it, I was a little bit, and then Ryan Lemon actually did a good job earlier this week and said it's acquaintance without the A.
I was
Like,
going to say,
that's easy enough.
He's an acquaintance of ours now,
Yes.
apparently. So then UK football on the road you got to win in Columbia tomorrow night or just pack your tents. Everybody's finished for the year. The team will quit. The fan base will quit if they don't win tomorrow heading into Louisville.
Especially with the way basketball played on Tuesday. In some instances, Mark Stoops is probably lucky that the basketball team did not win, because if the basketball team won and they would have lost, it had been done.
It's like, we can hop over here. And then how are you feeling this morning after? Is your wrist sprained?
We're a little late on.
I'm not rubbing in. I'm just asking.
Late on going to a break.
Is your wrist sprained as well?
He's like, hey, look at that.
Yep, I think it's. No, last night wasn't great.
No.
Because I don't know if you were watching or not, but he got injured and you could tell. And then Amazon, I don't know if they were showing a replay or if it was live, but Burrow was practicing, came out of the tent and threw a ball, and he threw one and immediately grimaced and looked at the trainer and just shook his head and said no. And Al Michaels' reaction was like, oh no, and that probably
now
was.
I get it. So I thought it was you in there making coffee, and I was talking.
Yeah, it was a
I
long
was
night.
talking
Yeah,
to
no,
you,
it was
but
a
it was
stressful night.
Sam, and I was like, "Is that Mark?" And he was like, "No." I was like, "You're making coffee?"
But yeah, the Bengals played last night, and then because Burrow got hurt, it was one of those things that it was It honestly was a lot like the Cougars last Friday. It was just a perfect storm of injuries and tough game.
Browning played okay for a while.
He's a backup quarterback in the NFL.
That's exactly right. But the good news is the Bengals have kind of a mini bye.
Yes,
playing Thursday night and then not till next Sunday. So maybe he can get healthy by then. But anyway, the Ravens edged the Bengals last night in Baltimore. Got to get you a break. We'll come back. We're going to talk briefly about Meet the Cougars night, something that's going on tonight you might want to know about. Plus, we got plenty more coming up here on In the Know.
Comfort is everlasting. Comfort is a journey that sees no end. Every moment is a memory. Every encounter, a piece. Empathy may be our foundation, but comfort is the heart that continues the Rogers Funeral Home legacy. A steadfast tradition from our very first service to our most recent farewell, guided by Dave and Jordan Atwell.
Hello, friends. My name is Reagan Atwell. My parents take good care of me and my little sister. They'll do the same for your family.
Discover more online at RogersWatkins.com or experience the Rogers difference personally on Main Street in Clarkson.
Everybody get ready, time to start a new day. Let's hit the ground running in a healthy way. Take a first at the fitness, even if it's just a little. Soon you'll be feeling just as fit as a fiddle. Fit as a fiddle on a July night. A walk around town will make you feel alright. Take the first step to fitness, even if it's just a little. Soon you'll be feeling just as fit as a fiddle.
Community Health Partners want you to be as fit as a fiddle.
Attention propane customers, has your existing provider been hard to reach? Have you had questions that haven't been answered or experienced long wait times or been asked to reply and send emails for customer support? Don't waste any more of your time. Southern States Co-op in Bowling Green will take your call. They will even swap out your existing tank to theirs at no charge. Southern States Bowling Green Co-op is ready to serve all your propane needs in Bowling Green and surrounding counties, because empty is never an option.
Successful small business owners know that having an ally in decoding the data of your business performance is vital. A trusted source that can interpret financial reports, advise on tax code, and assess overall performance can be the difference between sleepless nights and peace of mind. The certified public accounting firm of Buckles, Travis & Hart is your ally in making sure your business is performing at an optimum level. Call or contact today to find out how Buckles, Travis & Hart can help fine-tune your business to create peak performance. 270-259-5604. GraysonCPAs.com.
Thinking about furthering your education? At Elizabethtown Community and Technical College, you'll get a high-quality education close to home at a cost that won't break the bank. Enjoy small class sizes with professors who take a personal interest in your success. Scholarships are still available, making our low tuition even more affordable. ECTC's Litchfield campus is now enrolling for classes that start January 8th. Call 270-259-1540 or visit elizabethtown.kctcs.edu to get started. ECTC, college for the real world.
It's time to make important decisions about your Medicare prescription drug coverage. The Kentucky State Health Insurance Assistance Program provides free, unbiased guidance in selecting a Medicare Part D or Medicare Advantage plan. If you have questions or need help, the Kentucky State Health Insurance Assistance Program can guide you through the enrollment period, which ends December 7th. More information is available about Kentucky SHIP or how you can volunteer at 1-877-293-7447. That's 1-877-293-7447.
Threads is testing hashless hashtags. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg announced that Threads is testing a function that allows users to tag topics without actually using the hash symbol. Zuckerberg says users in Australia are part of the beta test and that the feature will be rolled out in other countries soon. Elon Musk is under fire after commenting under an anti-Semitic post on his social media platform X. The post claimed that Jewish communities push hatred against whites. Musk replied to the post saying, "You have said the actual truth." The billionaire added he doesn't believe it applies to every Jewish person. The post is likely referring to a conspiracy used by online hate groups, and notably the convicted Tree of Life synagogue shooter. The conspiracy theory claims that Jews try to bring undocumented minority populations into Western countries so they slowly outnumber white people. And the Toyota Camry is going hybrid only. The redesigned version of the best-selling car in America is currently available both ways, but the 2025 version will only be sold as a hybrid. Tech Report, Mark Mayfield.
When your baby leaves you all alone.
Today is Baklava Day.
I do like that.
Not balaclava. It's something you wear. Baklava is something you eat.
My mom has a friend who is Greek, and she would make it. Oh.
So it's not exactly the same, but the closest thing that we have to baklava is my mother's tea ring. It's similar. It's the similar ingredients. It is pastry, honey, nuts, and other yummy ingredients that are in there. It's kind of sweet, but not too sweet. Yeah, this is kind of a, I don't know how to describe it. It's kind of like a sweet biscuit type of mixture, like in the breading, and then you add in the brown sugar and all that other good stuff. It's Farm Joke Day. It's Unfriend Day. I think ceremonially, I'm going to unfriend someone on every unfriend day. Mm-hmm. It doesn't even have to be somebody that, you know, it's like, oh, that person. Just going to like skim through and go,
I don't really know you.
You. Mm-hmm. Be like, you. They'll never miss me. I'll never really miss them. Tomorrow is Apple Cider Day.
You know, I didn't think I was a huge fan, but I stopped by and visited my friends at Ray's, and they had some hot apple cider.
They did?
At their open house, which I had gone through that spell with my throat.
Right.
You know, I think I kind of like it.
Did they put one of those little spice sticks in there?
I don't know.
It's good.
I don't know. Her sweet mama made it for me, but
tomorrow
like
is
death on a cracker.
Vichyssoise Day.
It is what?
Vichyssoise. I'll get to Vichyssoise in just a second. What's funny is Dennis says, nice knowing you. He thinks he's the one that's going to be unfriended. How would he ever know he doesn't watch anything going on in his feed?
Oh, I didn't know if he was unfriending you. And he's saying nice knowing you as if to say, like...
Why does he not watch anything in his feed?
He just...
I don't know that. I don't know if this is an on-air
Has
thing.
he said that out loud?
Out loud to me.
I'm not here on Tuesdays. This is a thing?
He just tries to not pay too much attention to anything going on.
It's more one of those things that he just, I think it's part of it to not spend as much time on Facebook.
So he throws all of his stuff out there.
Yeah.
And then he doesn't look at anybody else's?
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, his kids probably tag him. That's probably all he cares about.
I think only one of his kids have
Happy Friday,
Facebook.
Dennis.
Yeah,
Tomorrow is Mickey Mouse Day. Tomorrow is Push Button Phone Day. Sunday is International Men's Day. Sunday is World Toilet Day, and Sunday is Blow Bagpipes Day. Combine those three things
Listen,
together.
you've got it made.
Bagpipes and toilet.
Bagpipes and toilets and men. They're basically synonyms.
I mean,
Today is Thankful Giving Day number 17. It means canned diced tomatoes. We have canned diced tomatoes.
Do we have to?
Yeah,
Can we skip that day?
No, you need it.
For those four?
you are not eating it,
It's
Sam.
a staple.
But I still want to make sure. I'll just double up on the cake mix instead.
Tomorrow and Sunday are a soup starter kit tomorrow and chicken noodle soup on Sunday. So if you work ahead, then you'll be caught up ready for Monday, and then we'll be entering the final third of our Thankful Giving season. Today is Meet the Cougars night.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of hard to say. Today is Meet the Cougars night.
Mm-hmm.
But we will get our first look at the 2023-2024 Grayson County Cougar basketball teams. Sam, you'll be carrying it on K105 Digital Production, I guess Facebook, YouTube, and X.
Yeah, do it on the YouTube, and you can put that on your smart TV.
It'll be easier. It's a more enjoyable experience, I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
So, big festivities tonight? You going to
Yeah.
be in the slam dunk contest? Or?
Well, my knee
Oh,
can't.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, it's since the knee injury, I can't quite get high enough to
You don't
slam
have
it
the
down.
same ups you used to have?
Yeah, the little Tyke skull they didn't want to roll out for me as well. Now, if it was, you got to watch out for Coach Johnston's oldest son. He's the one that, he's in there shooting all the time. He's in
ups.
kindergarten now,
Yeah.
and you better watch out. But no, I always like this because it gives us a chance to meet the teams. There we go. I've got
You
my
can
goal.
borrow this one, see? And somebody can suction cup it for you.
Yeah.
But we'll get to meet, obviously, talk to Coach Travis Johnston, and then we get our first introduction to Coach Mack, the new Lady Cougar basketball coach. Learn more about that, and I know that there's the potential that we might have a player or two. I know that when I was talking to Coach Mack, he mentioned that there might be one that has a familial connection to somebody who used to sit right here.
Oh, yeah.
And somebody, I don't know, I guess I can say her actual name on air. I don't know that she's actually going to come on, but there's the potential. I know Coach Mack, when I said, if you want to bring a player, he said, oh, well, I might send.
Sure.
So, but it gives us a chance, and then they'll scrimmage.
One of Fluffy's children.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of Fluffy's children could potentially get the chance. But we'll have fun.
We're maintaining the tradition.
Yes.
We are.
Kidney, right? I think that's right.
Kidney was the, yes. That's
But,
exactly right.
But it'll be good to talk with them, learn more about the teams. They're doing like a 3-point contest. The cheerleaders are going to perform. They'll introduce the teams to you. We'll have all of that for you. And I always really like to talk because this allows us for more long-form conversations with the coaches. Because usually pre and post game we're pretty time limited. But as this, we have about a 20-25 minute window where we can talk. Because like we'll talk to Coach Johnston when the girls are playing, and then we'll flip when the other teams are playing. So we'll show you the scrimmages, and it's always a lot of fun. And also come out and support. I know that the Beta Club, they're having a chili cook-off in the cafeteria, so you can kind of hit that up and then head on over to the...
Everybody knows smart kids make the best chili, so stop by.
When is Beta
Oh.
Convention? They may be
my.
fundraising for Beta Convention.
And I just got some break. Do you have the Wani Nana?
Wani Nana.
Apparently one Sheriff Norman Chaffins will be reffing tonight. And he says, and I quote, there might be a few ejections.
Yeah. He's the only official that wears horizontal stripes.
Can he dunk?
On that goal.
Wait.
Yeah, on that goal. On the one you put on the back of your bedroom door.
Yeah.
So support the Cougar basketball programs tonight and the Beta Club too while you're at it.
And if you're wanting something to do tomorrow, the boys host scrimmages literally all day. I know that the boys itself, they'll play Russell County tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So if you're looking for something to do, you want to watch some high school basketball, because it's like Whitesville Trinity plays in that. So you kind of, if you really are into it and you just want something to do, it's a good way to go out and support the team.
I know you all talked about Thanksgiving dinner yesterday when Barry was here. Did you all talk about the hated sides? The 3 most hated Thanksgiving sides?
In a way, we kind of touched on it as far as asking Barry, and Barry had a little bit of opinion on it, but more it was just that he had to get off his chest that Thanksgiving's not Thanksgiving without turkey.
100%.
And then I felt like you were still here.
Yeah. Like, wait a minute. 27% of Americans absolutely hate candied yams. Candied yams are in the top 3 most hated. Green bean casserole, 25%. And cranberry sauce at 24%. Those are the top 3 most hated sides. I'm indifferent to cranberry. I make a cranberry dish.
I love cranberry.
But I just do it because I think it says Thanksgiving, and I do
you put it on the plate?
He does chutney.
Yeah, and I do the chutney because I think it's a good alternative to
It's really good.
the ridged or ribbed
But
cans.
I love it right out of the can. Slice it on up. The ridges are right there.
Yeah.
There you go.
I don't dislike it. Not sure why. I never really, just not really like sweet. Just
Yeah,
I want sweet for dessert.
It's really
I don't
good.
really
You
want-
take one of the nice yeast rolls, open it up, put some turkey on there, put a little cranberry on it. It's just right.
Do you like green bean casserole?
I'm indifferent to it. I prefer broccoli casserole, but the green bean casserole is all right. They're kind of all the same to me.
Mm-hmm. Sorry that we're talking about casseroles and don't have our casserole expert on.
Yeah, clearly. I was a little surprised too. I saw my baby sister yesterday, and we were talking about Thanksgiving meal, and I asked her if she was making Brussels sprouts. And she said, I didn't know you like Brussels sprouts. And I said, I think I've kind of decided I do, but they can't be mushy and soupy. They need to be like grilled, or they need to be like have a crunch to
Roasted
them.
kind of
Yeah,
thing.
kind of like I'd prefer them to be like that. So who knows? Speaking of food, U.S. households waste 6.2 cups of food per week. So we throw away a little over 6 cups of food a week. Next week, that's going to be a bunch more, by the way.
Mm-hmm. All that leftover turkey that nobody wants to do anything with.
I feel like I do a good job of not being wasteful.
Yeah, we eat leftovers a lot.
We do, and then I try to come up with things that or take it to Mama's house because while it may be leftover still to us, she had
Is it wasted if Gertie eats it?
I don't think so.
No, it's not wasted.
And if not, you can compost it, right?
Clearly, yeah. And take it up to Mom and Dad's where they got the compost pile.
Listen, no.
If you're
That's
wanting,
your job.
if you're wanting a new Kit Kat chocolate frosted donut flavor bar is being revealed. Another Kit Kat flavor. It might be all right.
I don't know why it wouldn't be good.
Yeah,
It's just another one of those.
I'm a traditionalist enough in the sense that if I need a break, if somebody needs to break me off a piece of that Kit Kat bar, it might as well just be the traditional one because that's what I'm expecting. You're not gonna. Oh, okay, I'll eat more Kit Kat because you gave me another flavor. That's just not really how it works on the old Kitsakate. Got to get to a break. The weekend movie premieres and more coming up here on In the Know.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Here's a simple truth about higher education. If pursuing your purpose, doing what you really care about matters.
If having a rewarding career matters.
If a better financial future for you and your family matters.
Then higher education matters. From 6-week certificates to 2- or 4-year degrees, there's an option for you. A brighter future is within your reach. Find out how at kyhigheredmatters.org. Brought to you by this station and the Kentucky Broadcasters Association.
It's the law.
Es la ley.
It's the law.
It's the law.
It's the law. It's the law to call before you dig. If you don't...
we were putting in a shadow box fence in Louisville. A couple of my guys, instead of using hand augers, used the power auger and ran into a telephone line and a internet line.
And they paid $13,000 for the repairs. Before you dig, go online to Kentucky811.org. It's the law.
Wilson and Muirbank reminds those of us who enjoy gathering with family to give thanks that the food on our table is due to the hard work of farmers everywhere. Join Wilson and Muirbank at the main branch on November 22nd from 11 to 1 for the annual Salute to the American Farmer. Wilson and Muir customers can enjoy a free lunch prepared by the Grayson County Cattlemen's Association and learn more about the importance of farmers to each of our families. The annual Salute to the American Farmer, November 22nd from Wilson and Muirbank, member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
K105 Weather is brought to you by Future Designs Building Materials on Quarry Road in Litchfield.
Rounds of rain across the region for today before we finally dry out later on this evening with the clouds clearing overnight. For this weekend, we're talking plenty of sunshine for both your Saturday and Sunday with highs in the 50s. From the Wave News Storm Tracking Team, I'm meteorologist Tawana Andrew.
Had the time of my life. No, I never felt this way before.
Never felt
yes,
this
I swear it's a truth, and I owe it all to you.
Today's Did You Know is brought to you by Litchfield Memorial Chapel, providing Grayson County with compassionate professional funeral, cremation, and pre-need services. Litchfield Memorial Chapel, celebrating life one family at a time. Call 259-4566 or visit litchfieldmemorial.com. Did you know people who complain tend to live longer?
Well, that's unfortunate.
I know a couple of people I'm just going to start calling Methuselah.
Yeah.
Because they complain all the time. And why is it? So I guess that kind of segues to point to ponder. Do they really live longer, or does it just feel like it?
Does that mean our comment section's never going to
Comments never die, I suppose. But yeah, there are. And it's funny. I have that Did You Know on Unfriend Day. And I think, well, that could be some criteria for the unfriending. Whoever I'm going to choose, I'm going to find the biggest complainer. Say, I think you'll go. And I'm not just talking about snoozing. And I'm not just talking about unfollowing. I am going unfriend.
I do like the snooze for 30 days. That's a good
I
feature.
love it. But on Unfriend Day, you got to unfriend. There's no substitute for unfriend. You can't sort of do it. Got to commit. Weekend movie premieres. There's a new Hunger Games in theaters today. The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes.
But they're not. It's
not the same.
It's not Josh Hutcherson and Jennifer Lawrence, though, is it?
Tom Blythe, Rachel Zegler, and Viola Davis.
I know her.
But they're running out of titles. You know, it was the Hunger Games Catching Fire, and the Hunger Games blank blank, and the Hunger Games The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. That's too much syllabic content. I'm gonna need you to make that more brief. Trolls Band Together is out. Justin Timberlake, Anna Kendrick, Amy Schumer. Thanksgiving is an R-rated holiday horror film. Patrick Dempsey and Addison Rae, Rick Hoffman. And Next Goal Wins, a PG-13 sports comedy. The story of the infamously terrible American Samoa soccer team, known for a brutal 2001 FIFA match they lost 31-0.
Oh, wow.
Whoa. Did you ever go back and watch the movie with Woody Harrelson and the basketball coach?
No.
It's really good.
Do you have a running list of the things that you're...
It's too long.
We used to have a
But
list.
do you know, like,
Do
you
I-
personally, I have one in my notes section.
I
and
used
it's
to
ridiculous.
I used to have on Netflix. You know how you can make a list.
Yeah, but I mean,
used
like,
to have
all.
that, but no, I don't. It's gotten to the point now where I just have. I literally, if I have like Saturday night after the UK game, if I'm still awake, if I'm mad, I'll probably go onto Netflix.
If I'm mad.
When I'm mad, I should say, probably after the UK game.
The game will be over about 9. Yeah.
And I'll probably go through Netflix and find something and be like, oh, yes, somebody told me I should watch this.
Gotcha.
I keep a running list.
Good news. Somebody tell young Miss Alea that not only is Frozen 3 coming, but Bob Iger said yesterday Frozen 4 is in the works too. Bob Iger was on Good Morning America. He says, I don't have much to say about those films right now. Jen Lee, who created the original Frozen and Frozen 2, is hard at work with her team at Disney Animation on not one, but actually 2 stories. Here's where I'm a little bit nervous. I have always used Alea as a Frozen shield. See, my love of Frozen, I could always blame and say, well, it's because of the kid. She's all into Frozen. I'm just being supportive of her.
Is that what you're saying?
So I'm afraid, what if she decides, by the time that comes out, she'll be at least 8. By the time Frozen 4 comes out, she's probably 10 or 11. What if she turns on me and goes, I don't like Frozen anymore? Then what am I going to do?
So I know exactly what I'm going to do for you.
What?
I'm going to pull her to the side, Alea.
You'll
Now listen.
Just pretend.
He really wants to
You know
go.
what? You know what your answer is? At
He's
that
always done this with you since you were little bitty. And she'll come in there and she'll say, okay, I'll go.
No, you'll have a grandbaby then.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true.
It probably
But
getting
we're-
close to
it's
the age
still
that,
the-
Frozen 4, you'd have.
I think Alea will go just for even if as she's older, for the nostalgia, it's something that is still deep in there, even if she is at the age that she doesn't want to wear an Elsa shirt or, you know what I mean? It's still in there, the love of it.
3 years ago, for Thanksgiving, she was still wearing her Halloween Elsa costume. So, and
she was a pirate something in here.
For 2 years. Every day and then for 2 years. And yeah.
by the way, the significance of it, and serious business, the first song we ever heard her sing was Let It Go.
Yeah.
That's the first melody we ever heard her carry as a human was Let It Go. And so that's one of the other reasons that it's been so let's hope that she
will.
Yeah,
she will.
Beyonce is reportedly in talks for the next residency at the Las Vegas Sphere. I just caught a few minutes Wednesday night of the opening ceremonies of the F1 race out in Vegas. And then overnight, last night, they did testing. And apparently there's a bump in the track and they had to cancel the session after 20 minutes. So, but the F1 circuit goes right around the Sphere. And every time they go around, it's kind of got a different design on it. And it's very picturesque. But that would, I hope they get it together.
If they can't do it there, just make F1 Caneyville, right?
I think Litchfield's more cut out. Litchfield's a little more suitable for.
Well,
F1
you could
race.
decorate your house and make your house the Sphere there in Caneyville, right?
No, I'm not interested in anything like that. I think
K105 Digital Productions
We're
can
fine.
can stream it.
Just do it just around the courthouse.
Oh no!
Just to be like short track F1 racing.
But what about Crawdad Stadium? Can be like the start finish line, right?
Nope. Too much elevation and terrain change and all that's not going to work. This year you can buy your Mariah Carey Barbie just in time for Christmas. In case you want to, all I want for Christmas is you, Barbie. Apparently, Mariah Carey has one out. And then the line of the day came yesterday. There's a lot of people talking about it. You want to run for president? Are you going to be who's going to run? Who's going to run? Dolly Parton was asked if she has any interest in being president. She said, "Nope. We've had enough boobs in the White House."
Now that is straight right there.
Solid work, Dolly.
Get it.
You've always got the best one-liners. Want to be president? Nope. We've already had enough boobs in the White House. Got to get to a break. We'll come back. More on the way here on In the Know.
Integrity is crucial to the game of golf. Bernard Longer knows all about that. He's one of the most accomplished European professional golfers in history. He once described golf as the most unique game in sports because the players penalize themselves. His integrity was put to the test a few years ago on one of the final holes of a tournament. He had a 3-foot putt for birdie, practically a gimme for a professional. He never touched the ball, but when he lined up his shot and moved into his backswing, the ball barely moved. In fact, the movement was so slight that not even the television cameras spotted it. But Bernard saw it. He could have pretended that nothing happened. Instead, he called a one-stroke penalty on himself, which dropped him in the rankings and cost him $330,000 in winnings. A lot of things motivate our decision-making. Quick and easy fixes, personal gain, everything from basic survival to creating a life of purpose and meaning. When we lack integrity, we shade the truth. We cut corners that benefit us while taking advantage of someone else. But the greatest choices are rooted not in convenience, but in character. Without integrity, we sacrifice long-term gain for short-term reward. With integrity, we do what's right simply because it's the right thing to do, even when it costs us. For more to help you thrive, go to FocusOnTheFamily.com. I'm Jim Daly.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's Medi-Share. Maybe you've heard switching to Medi-Share to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for Medi-Share is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. Medi-Share works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 888-SHARE-19. That's 888-SHARE-19. 888-SHARE-19.
You are my treasure. You are my treasure. You are my treasure. Yeah, you are my treasure. You are my treasure. You are my treasure.
MB's Point to Ponder for today. If you were putting together an end-of-the-world team, like an apocalypse is on the way, an end-of-the-world survival team, who would you put on it?
Okay, that's I
Like
need
this
some
is for
time.
fighting?
For anything.
I need some time to think about this. How broad can I go? Like,
Let-
I can pick anybody in the world?
I'm going to give you some starters, and then you can think about it in these terms. So people surveyed said The Rock.
Can I just take the SEAL Team 6?
I think you need. I think you're narrow casting there. I think it's too narrow on just the SEAL team. You need that.
I'm down with The Rock.
MacGyver.
Okay.
See, because you got to think beyond. All right. Well, it just can't all be brute force and good looks.
Is this updated?
You got to have some eggheads too.
Technology MacGyver or just...
It's not MacGruber. It's whatever MacGyver that you want it to be. So that would be, especially if you put a limit on it. Well, what's
The Rock was
what's
the first one
limit?
that came to mind just because he's a massive human being.
Chuck Norris. Somebody put Chuck Norris on the list. Somebody put Superman. So I mean,
Batman?
Superman could be helpful, but at some point in time, if you've got Superman, do you need The Rock? You know,
Well, what happens if you run into kryptonite?
It's a good question.
The Rock doesn't have that kryptonite.
Well, not if you smell what The Rock is cooking. Let's get on television tonight is
Meet the Cougar Night at 6 o'clock.
Let's Make a Deal Primetime is on a CBS. The Last Cowboy on the season 4 premiere is on CMT. 2020 is on tonight. Attention Cook Ranch, A Merry Scottish Christmas, the premiere on Hallmark tomorrow night.
But that's right up their alley, too, with Dennis being isn't he a lord?
Yeah, he's a feudal lord, I think, maybe in Scotland.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night. She doesn't know this, I think. Saturday
I'm not
Night
here on
Live.
Tuesdays.
I know. But Jason Momoa
Alex-
is the host.
Alex bought him a piece
good.
of land in Scotland for Christmas last year, so by Scottish law, he's a feudal lord in Scotland.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Maybe I
he's
didn't
a
know that.
landowner. I think maybe I assigned the feudal lord title. But it could be. He might have a certificate. I don't know.
He's a
Yellowstone on
landowner, though,
Sunday.
in Scotland now.
Sunday Night Football is Vikings at Broncos. Today's highlight in history, this date in 2003, Arnold Schwarzenegger was sworn in as the 38th governor of California. In 1800, Congress held its first session in the partially completed U.S. Capitol building. The Little Mermaid opened in wide release this date in 1989. Been a while. Birthdays today, a bunch of them. Bob Gaudio is 82. He was Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons and wrote some of their hits. Martin Scorsese is 81. Danny DeVito is 79. Speaking of Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito in Twins. Lorne Michaels is 79. Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio is 65. RuPaul is 63. Daisy Fuentes is 57. Ronnie DeVoe from Belle Biv DeVoe and New Edition is 56. And Rachel McAdams, Claire Cleary herself, is 45 today.
Wow.
The only line from Twins that I can tell you is, hit 'em, hit 'em, hit 'em.
Never. I've seen the movie poster, but I don't know that I've ever actually seen it.
So when Arnold Schwarzenegger and Danny DeVito come out dressed as twins, and they're convinced they are twins, he's like giving them, give me a low five or whatever, and so he's like, hit 'em, hit 'em, hit 'em. That's my Arnold Schwarzenegger impersonation.
I mean, I thought it was actually him.
I can also say, to the chopper. Rock Hudson was born this date in 1925. Rance Howard, born in 1928. Terrific Tom Seaver was born this date in 1944.
How long ago did we lose him? What, like 19?
What was that year? I thought I saw 17 this morning. No, 2020. During COVID, August 31st, 2020. I don't know if it was COVID related, but
I want to say he had like cancer or something.
Chart toppers.
What to my service?
The Playmates, number one, Beep Beep in 1958. You may recall.
No, it was
just keeps speeding.
Dementia and COVID.
And we took off with gossip, beep, beep, beep. Now we're doing 110. There certainly was a race.
Ooh, mercy. Let's move on. Let's go to 1967. Sam and Dave, number one, popularized by the Blues Brothers.
Me and my dad.
Sam and Dave, the Gormley brothers, the Gormley guys. Coming to you on a dusty road. Good love. Let's go to 1976. But I forgot to mention, it is Gordon Lightfoot's birthday today as well.
Oh.
So he had a number one on his birthday.
It's one of those
Get you goomy.
You don't realize how many good songs he had. You know, just
I've always loved Sundown.
Oh yes, but this one's a great one too.
In the face of a hurricane west wind.
We built this city.
Starship
on rock and roll.
We built this
number one this date in 1985.
and roll. Built this city.
The city by the bay, the city that rocks, the city that never stops.
City on rock and roll. We built this city on rock. City. We built this city on rock and roll.
No, it's not that good mix that has the talk over it. Oh, here we go. 1994. Benny Camus and Here Comes the Hot Stepper.
They talked about this yesterday on KSR.
They did. Here comes the hot stepper. Word 'em up. I don't know why. It's like I always like this song.
Yeah, it was the good conversation starter was to talk about what song was number one when you were 12 years old, and this was Shannon the Dude's song when he was 12. It was
Swinging by John Anderson.
Mine was Right Round by Flo Rida.
Isn't it sad that I immediately knew that?
Yeah,
when you were 12?
When I was 12, Swinging by John Anderson. Yeah. All right, hey, Outkast number one in 03, Gangnam Style, Psy in 2012, Adele, Easy on Me, number one 2 years ago today. All right, MB's Perlo Wisdom for today. When you focus on the good gets better. When you focus on the good gets better. MB's Pearl of Wisdom for today. Remember, God loves you, and I do too. If you don't know Jesus, let me know, and I'll introduce you. Look forward to seeing you back here on Monday for another edition of our show. For Sam Gormley, for Beej, I'm MB, and now you're in the know.
Powering through the Twin Lakes with the best mix of music, news, weather, and fun. If it's in the Twin Lakes,